In the quiet echoes of a forgotten age, a king sits alone. His throne, a colossus carved from cold, unfeeling stone, is dwarfed by the cavernous hall that surrounds him. Every line etched in this ink-drawn world screams the solitude of a silence so profound it has a weight of its own. The air is still, heavy with the dust of centuries and the ghosts of unspoken words. This is not a king in his prime. Surrounded by courtiers and this is the final act, the last sentinel watching over a kingdom of memories. His face, a roadmap of time, is etched with a deep weariness, his gaze fixed on something far beyond the empty expanse before him. The crown on his head feels heavier than ever, not with jewels, but with the burden of every decision, every victory, and every loss. The grand tapestries that once adorned these walls are now just faint whispers of color, their vibrant stories muted by the encroaching shadows. Flickering across the cold stone, like phantoms in the dim light, are the memories of what once was. Faded sketches, ghostly and ephemeral, play out scenes of a glorious past. Hear the thunder of hooves as legions of knights charge across a battlefield, their banners snapping in a wind that no longer blows. The clash of steel and the roar of 1,000 voices rise and fall in a silent symphony. You can almost feel the ground tremble, the raw energy of a kingdom at its zenith. The king's eyes, though tired, follow these spectral images. He sees himself younger, a figure of strength and command, his sword raised high in triumph. The ink lines capture the glint of sunlight on polished armor, the fierce determination in the eyes of his soldiers, the pride of a victory hard won. These were the days of expansion, of forging an empire from fire and will. Then, the scene shifts. The battlefield dissolves into the warm glow of a great hall. Not this one, but one filled with life. Vibrant celebrations unfold. Dancers twirl in a kaleidoscope of color, their laughter a silent melody. Musicians, their instruments long since turned to dust, pluck at strings that resonate only in memory. The long tables groan under the weight of feasts, surrounded by the faces of friends, family, and loyal subjects. He sees the queen, her smile a beacon of light, her hand in his. He remembers the taste of the wine, the warmth of the fire, the easy camaraderie of those who shared his triumphs. These were the golden years, a time of peace and prosperity, when the kingdom was a vibrant tapestry of joy and life. But now, these images are just faint, transparent ghosts dancing on the walls, a cruel reminder of the life that has long since fled this desolate hall. Each flicker is a pang of nostalgia, a sweet and bitter taste of a world that exists only in his mind. The last candle on a tarnished silver stand sputters, its small flame fighting a losing battle against the encroaching darkness. It has been his only companion through this long, final watch. As the flame dances its final, desperate jig, the king's posture, once so regal, seems to soften. He doesn't fight the inevitable. There is a sense of acceptance, a quiet resignation in the slow, deliberate way he moves. His gaze drifts from the phantom memories on the wall to the flickering light, a mirror of his own fading existence. With a sigh that is more a release of air than a sound, he slowly closes his eyes. It's not a surrender to sleep, but a willing farewell to the waking world. A final turning inward. The weight he has carried for so long is finally being set down. The muscles in his neck relax, and the heavy crown, the very symbol of his power and his burden, beheans to tilt. There is no grand, dramatic crash. It slips, almost gently, from his brow and tumbles to the stone floor. The clatter it makes is shockingly loud in the profound silence, a single, sharp note that marks the end of an era. Then, silence returns, deeper and more absolute than before. The candle flame gives one last, heroic flicker and is gone. The hall is plunged into an almost total darkness. The only light, a faint, ethereal glow from the high, arched windows. The camera, which had been focused on this intimate moment of departure, begins to pull back. Slowly, steadily, it retreats from the throne, from the still figure of the king, from the fallen crown that glints dimly on the floor. We move back through the vast, empty hall, past the silent, ghostly sketches on the walls. The scale of the emptiness becomes overwhelming. The single figure on the throne shrinks, becoming just a small, insignificant detail in the immense architecture of his own palace. We continue to pull back, moving through the grand gates, now permanently ajar. The perspective widens further, revealing the royal city, the bustling streets, the vibrant markets. The homes once filled with families all are now silent, frozen, not in ice or stone, but in ink. Every building, every cobblestone, every tree is a perfect, static drawing. The camera continues its ascent, rising above the city walls, revealing the kingdom in its entirety. It's a breathtaking, heartbreaking vista. Rolling hills, dense forests, winding rivers, and distant mountains stretch to the horizon, all rendered in exquisite, motionless detail. The entire world has been stilled, a magnificent, sprawling illustration held in a moment of perpetual twilight. The sky above is awash of deep indigo and pale lavender, the last vestiges of a sun that is set for the final time. There are no birds in this sky, no movement in the leaves of the trees, no ripples on the water. It is a kingdom preserved in memory, a legacy captured not in history books or monuments, but in the timeless, unchanging lines of ink. A world born from a king's ambition, which lived a glorious life, and now rests in an eternal, silent beauty. The story is over, but the picture remains. Thank you for watching. If you were moved by this story, please consider subscribing for more journeys into worlds of imagination.